Come to the show. We about to chop it up. Come to the show. We got some things we can talk about. Come to the show. We about to chop it up. Come to the show. We got some things we can talk about. Chop it up. Chop it. Chop it. Chop it. Chop it up. Chop it. We got some things we can talk about. Chop it up. Chop it. Chop it. Chop it up. Chop it up. Chop it. We got some things we can talk about.
You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop with your host, Pastor Marvin McKenstry Jr. Let's chop it up.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? How you been? How's it going? Been a couple of weeks since y'all seen us, and we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. The couple of weeks since you've seen us is because it's been a lot of good stuff happening and going on in the community and ministry. And y'all, where I had to be pulled and my host had to be pulled. We had to go respond to the call. We are excited because our producer and co-host, Shaka Pitts, y'all seen the video. He took a tumble. But man, this brother, I don't know, you got some people in life, I don't even know why illness, sickness, and stuff bother them. Illness and sickness must just like taking a beating every time they come at my brother, because my brother, he just exceeds all expectations and odds. And guess what, y'all? He is in the house tonight. So listen, it's going to be a new format. We're revamping some things. And one of the things that you're going to notice is we don't have a special guest, because the special guest is going to be the voices of the Chop Shop. Y'all are going to be hearing our perspective on certain topics. Y'all listen, I am so excited. The first thing I need you to do is to like, love, and share this broadcast all over the place, everywhere that you can. And before I move any further, let me bring on my right hand and my left hand, my main man on the ones and twos, Mr. Shaka Pitts. Always making the magic happen, Techniques 1200s, because anything else is uncivilized. What's up, bro?
What's up, good brother Marv? How you doing?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I'm excited about the new look Chop Shop. You know, we had discussed this a while ago and went back to some guests. And y'all, listen, we still going to have some guests with us. We are going to still bring on guests, but they're going to be a part of the conversation, because these voices of these amazing people that we have with us are going to continue to go forth. And without further ado, I might as well bring them on. I got my other two co-hosts. We talking about Miss Hot Take herself. Lady Lisha's in the building. Lisha, what's going on?
Nothing up. I'm chilling.
That's what's up. And the one and only Thekeptwoman, Chelsea the Thekeptwoman, is in the building. Chelsea, what's good?
Hey,
y'all know we've been gone for a while, because Chelsea back with a whole new do, y'all. New color, new everything. That's that black woman thing, though, Shop. You know what I mean? They will switch it up. I swear to God, we did community outreach this past weekend at the church. Well, yeah, this past weekend at the church. Somebody came running down on me talking about, you know me, the only thing changed was her hair. And I did not know who she was. Man, y'all listen. Y'all know how the queens do, how the sisters do. But without further ado, let's get to these church announcements.
It don't take much, Marv.
These church announcements are brought to you by the Men of the We Are Us movement. We Are Us, 10K Power, Unity Engagement, Men's Movement. And listen, I want y'all to know that if you want us to rock your brand on the show, we will rep your brand. So you got a t-shirt or something? I'll put it on. But starting off, as always, the Stop the Beef hotline. Call or text 443-431-3705 or 443-522-7848. I got to shout the brothers out. They have been consistent boots on the ground in the Brooklyn community since the mass shooting has taken place. They have been involved in solutions, y'all. Solutions. That's what really matters. Solutions. So shout out to the We Are Us men's movement, and walking hand in hand with the Stop the Beef hotline is the Baltimore Peace Agreement. The Baltimore Peace Agreement has been making the rounds for about 3, maybe 4 years now. And it's where brothers came together, some behind the wall, some in the street, some used to be, but trying to prevent any other man from becoming soon to be a statistic or another number in Baltimore. So what we decided is we was going to get people to sign off on this 10-point agreement that virtually says, even if you got to eat in the streets, you ain't got to die or kill in the streets. So y'all know what it is. If the Baltimore Peace Agreement has not been to your community, please hit us up. We will. The organ boy, y'all hear the organ music announcements. Shaka is the best producer in the land. Amen. But moving right along, the Employee Baltimore show, hosted by yours truly, on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Okay, that ain't that. Thursday, you're right, Shaka. It's Thursdays at 2 p.m. where we bring in up to the minute information on employment. Y'all, I need y'all to tune into this show. If you know somebody that's looking for work or need to find a job, you got nephew who's on the couch or your son or daughter that's in the basement, get them on this show. They're going to get real live, up to the minute, accurate information on employment. Today we talked to Shake and Bake. Y'all, Shake and Bake got jobs ranging from $15 to $20 an hour, and they do an open house every first Saturday of the month from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So make sure that you get down to Shake and Bake and get your bag. He gave y'all little breaks so y'all can hear some of the organ. Join us for worship. Shana bye bye bye. Join us, y'all. We at Victory House Worship Center enjoying Jesus. The church is growing. People are being blessed. I have the honor and privilege of being the pastor there. Y'all come through with us 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings at 1063 West Fayette Street. That's down in my beloved Southwest Baltimore community. If you can't join us there, join us on Zoom. The information is on the flyer, or you can catch us on Facebook Live, y'all. We've upgraded. The visuals are better online and the sound. So make sure that you tune in with Victory House Worship Center every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Look at my son doing big things. Yes, he is. And God is doing great things with him as the new senior leader at New Commandment Church over in East Baltimore, 2654 Kirk Avenue. That's on the corner of Kirk and Montpelier. We always shout out and send love to the founder and the establishmentarian of the church, my very own Aunt Ruth Johnson. But up next, right at the wheel, at the helm, is my son, J.O.K. Thomas Jr., doing a great work over there. New senior pastor of the church, but already been in the community and doing the work, y'all. So get over there and support him each Sunday at 2 p.m. Oh, they're going now. Listen, y'all, we got them in East Side, we got them in West Side, Northwest. We talking about the one and only Restoring the Kingdom Outreach Ministries has touched down. It is in full operation and full effect up in the Park Heights community, 4442 Park Heights Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21215. Service starts at 2 p.m. And I'm so proud to say for the first time to the Chop Shop audience, live and in color, the senior pastor, Ronetta Cooper. Y'all, she is doing a great work there. The theme is restoration, which is a product of healing. Make sure that y'all get through to support her. And listen, bring your appetite, because at the service, there'll be some eating going on in that place. Hallelujah. So make sure that you get to Restoring the Kingdom Outreach Ministries. All right, y'all. That's the church announcements for tonight. And we are about to get right into these topics. I don't even know if we discussed what we're talking about first or no particular order, but I'm excited just to be able to share this platform and talk. Listen, if you haven't already, I need you to make sure that you go on and you share the broadcast. I'm actually sharing it to a couple of other places. We're building a pretty decent audience, but I want to make sure that we got people in the room tonight to listen to us have these conversations. And guess what? We are going to post a link in the chat for those who want to come on the air and have some dialogue with us and share your perspective. We only ask that you be respectful, as this is a live show and we want to make sure that it stay family friendly. But let's get into the topics. The first thing that we're going to talk about tonight, and I want to put this one up to my special guests, which are my friends. You see you on there, Ra. Come on, give us a little bit more than a good evening. Give us a "To God Be the Glory" or something. Got yourself all up on the screen. We have got to talk about, in national news, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is set to turn himself in tomorrow. So we may be talking about him a little bit more in depth and in detail. But tonight, we ain't here to talk all about him. We're going to talk about his friends. So we got a graphic, 19 people in total. 19. Look at these folks. Listen. First of all, the thing that gets me is the diversity in what you see on these pictures. One, I'm smiling like I'm happy to be here. And listen, y'all, we're not going the comedic route, but I can't ignore the obvious. That's somebody's grandmother next to her.
Yeah.
and my man old Rudy, the mayor of America, Giuliani. Whoever thought we would see this brilliant legal mind and was the people's man? He was a Republican in New York and beloved of the people, sitting here indicted. Chop shop crew, man, listen. They always say watch the company that you keep, but Lord have mercy. These 19 people, you think they ever thought they would find themselves in a situation like this, trying to support the then president of the United States? I want to chop it up. Let's talk about this. Let's see what y'all got.
You want to know what I see, Pastor?
What you say?
Privilege.
Ooh, listen. It wasn't until I said what's that I knew what was coming.
Yeah,
I knew it. Talk about it. Talk about it, because it's true.
I mean,
you agree?
History has proven that privilege has a tendency to do what they want and get by without anything more than a slap on the wrist. But this is a new day, America. It is a new day.
No, because I got to poke the bear. You said privilege. You said they. What are you not saying?
I'm talking about them folk that look like that right there. Them people.
Surprise, sad. I see a little bit of the full spectrum on there. Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about them folk.
See, you won't say it, but Shaka say it. I'm waiting.
privilege is it. Privilege is
Right.
it.
Right.
Oh, you mean white people? Is that the word we looking for? That's what we looking for? White people?
Listen.
That what we looking for?
We are not race. We are not the show that's going to race bash or anything like that. Amen. But the truth is, man, you can't miss that element of this, because that element was so prevalent in everything to do from the Make America Great Again campaign all the way up and through to what you seen January 6th at the Capitol, all the way up into what now is the indictment of some people who probably, if you look at the background, they served this country in various capacities very proudly and in some dignified fashion. Let me ask y'all this, because we didn't got our laugh out the way. How you feel they find themselves here from your perspective?
Bruh, this is easy. I'm from New York. Giuliani ain't never been right. Like he's never been him. You understand?
But America loved them, Shaq. You gotta talk to
them. America was brainwashed. America in general operates off of trauma and shock. So all it took was 9/11. Ain't nobody loving before 9/11. I'm from New York. Ain't nobody loving. Listen, you can go back and listen to rappers talk about Giuliani. You can go be like Giuliani was never been loved.
He's always a crook.
He was always a crook.
So let me ask you this.
Hold on. What we haven't said either is a quarter of the 19 people are lawyers.
So they learned how to break the law.
No, they knew the law.
Listen, half of them, the first three up there are lawyers. Then you got Giuliani's a lawyer. Eastman's a lawyer. So come on, you got Jenna Ellis, Sidney Powell, because Sidney Powell, Cheeseboro, Giuliani. Come on, bro.
But listen, we here to have a conversation.
Yeah, I said cracking.
But we here to have a conversation. Unpack it for me.
So again, it's going back to what Sis said. This is privilege. It ain't gonna be me. I like my hand and not my thumb. My hand is on this thing.
So I think that's
always been on this thing.
I think that's the part of it that went up into. But I'm talking about now. Today, you find yourself in that Fulton County Courthouse, turning yourself in and taking a mugshot. You know, we should have did a whole caption this. I want our audience caption them pictures. Pick a picture and caption the picture. But what is the mind frame to find yourselves, I guess, 2 years removed, 3 years removed from his presidency, 2 years removed from that mess that happened at the Capitol, and actually indicted, facing charges for tampering with an election? What's the mind frame and the mood right now?
I think personally, it's because again, they didn't think this was real. They didn't think this was going to happen.
No.
They didn't think this
No.
was gonna happen. Did this precedent on like especially them following 45 because he's already showed to them like man, I can walk through anything.
Yeah,
Nothing's
like he
touching
exempt.
me.
Yeah.
Nothing's touching me, and we good. We good, Joe. And they see how the Republican Party has been holding them down, like because they're scared of being primary. So they like whatever. So they thought they was good, but they didn't count on that January 6th committee through with just having all Republicans testify. That hurt them bad having all that evidence come out, and then the government was forced to move, and Thornton was gonna move from the door. When the day after that phone call, sis was like, nah, yo, not here. The day after, so she was always gonna move, but the government didn't move for damn near 2 years. So nah, they definitely surprised, like, yo, what?
That's not what I think is happening.
No,
in the picture.
no.
What I think is happening in the picture is you don't know who you're dealing with. I think the mentality of privilege, the bank accounts, the education, the being lawyers on the bar, that in some way, shape, or form, they think that they're going to walk through this and come out smelling like roses.
That first smile right there at the top telling it all. She's smiling like, okay.
Well, no, that's also a tactic. You got two tactics. You got the tactic of, you're not gonna, like, for instance, Rudy has no tactic because he's just out. He's legitimately mad.
That's just how he looks.
Like,
Yeah.
he's mad because again,
he look like Montgomery Burns on the Simpsons.
So like people use draws, right? That's how that was his whole thing. So for it to be coming back home, he's not happy. He's probably the least happy out of anyone.
Man, they say Rudy is mafioso. Come on, talk to me.
But that's
Rudy
what I'm telling you.
Rudy been in pickles and he
thought
know
it
how to
could
get
happen,
out.
Marv.
That's
He
what
never
I'm
thought it could
saying.
happen.
Do you think that he don't think he gonna walk up out of this?
No, he does not. Not in Georgia. No, he does not.
Nah.
No,
They all think they're walking. They all think they're walking.
The South?
He's worried. They're all worried about Georgia. All of them are worried about Georgia.
Georgia wouldn't even elect a Democratic governor.
Listen, bro, but guess what? But the Republican governor testified.
Let's look at the
It's bigger than Nino Brown right now, Marv.
No, we gotta
bigger than Nino Brown.
It's bigger than Nino.
We gotta look at the track record of how America was moved, though. Like this right here, just this right here is progress. So if it stopped right here, they looking at it like, well, at least we did this.
What?
At least we indicted them.
Progress. Come on, yo, we had Watergate in the 60s. This ain't new.
This ain't
No, it's not new.
We had the Iran-Contra scandal, man, in the 80s. This is not new to see a bunch of these folks get indicted. Now let me ask you this, because I asked you what you thought their thought process. What do you guys think is going to come out of this? You think it's got any teeth? Because I'm going to tell you what I think. I think
they
right
just
now they are working hard to make sure Donald Trump get reelected.
Who's they?
The people who will not leave this man alone, let him go away quietly. If in fact he's able to beat this, hear me out. Hear me out.
You cannot let that walk, Marv.
Hear me out. If in fact this man beats this indictment, right? While other people are preparing the campaign, you giving them all this free press. His base is getting rallied right now. You making a martyr out of him.
Bro, his base is 30-something%. He cannot win
No,
base.
no, he is still the leading Republican candidate for the Republican nomination.
Only in primaries. That's Marv. Only for primaries, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. That makes him the Republican. That makes him the Republican. So let me ask you a question. Joe gonna run again?
Joe's gonna run again. He's probably gonna dip out in between. But
is he gonna survive the campaign?
He's $1 billion. Yeah, he's $1 billion% gonna run again.
You think he's gonna survive the campaign?
Yes. Why you act like the nigga about to die tomorrow? Like,
because he look like it. Because he look like
it. Worse condition than him, Marv.
Because he looks like it. No, you asked the question. You asked the question. Let me answer it. You said, "Why do I think he's gonna die tomorrow?" Because he looked like it.
He looked like it,
and he sounded like it, and he walked like it.
Bro, have you heard Trump speak? He can't speak without wheezing every 3 seconds.
They don't.
But that's because he's fat like me. Having an obesity problem and being 1,000 years old is two different things.
Look, bro, they're the same age. They're within the same age, 3-4 years apart.
That's worse.
Well, it
That's worse.
looks like it's 20 years apart. Y'all, we got to dial back from this topic.
Trump,
but listen,
Trump looks to be in worse physical condition than that.
We got to dial back. We got to dial back from this topic because we got other stuff that we need to talk about tonight. Like, love, and share this broadcast, y'all. But before we go to the next subject, we got something that we want your help with. If you're on here tonight, we need you to get in the comments because we are going to be doing something every week that's called the Soul Baltimore Challenge. And what the Soul Baltimore Challenge is we're going to be looking at things that are so Baltimore, and you're going to be helping us figure out what's most Baltimore. So I already think I know. We're going to guess what we think number one is going to be. Y'all going to vote in the comments. Then we're going to figure out who was right. But we got some food items we're going to talk about. Can we get across the ticker, my brother? So the Soul Baltimore Challenge tonight is with these food items. The egg custard snowball with marshmallow. The cheesesteak egg roll. The yak galmain, also known as yakami.
I don't know.
The crab cake. The corned beef sandwich, and the chicken box.
Hey, now we talking,
Mom. Get in the comments.
I don't know.
And the vote, we are going to put our vote up for what we believe, and no cheating. We're going to put it in the comment section ourselves, or we're going to put it in the chat so we can put our vote up. And later on, after you guys vote, we're going to see if you voted with us, against us, if we got it right or you got it right. So I'm casting my ballot right now.
I don't know. It's a strong. I like two of those, Marv.
It's only one for me.
I like two of those things.
It's only one for me.
I like two of those.
I don't want to typecast the Chop Shop audience, but I'm gonna give them to you again. The crab cake, the corned beef sandwich, the chicken box, the chicken box, the egg custard snowball with marshmallows, the cheesesteak egg roll, or the yak galmain, also known as yakami. Which one is the most Baltimore? The Soul Baltimore Challenge. Get in the comments and vote. I'm about to switch off from the chat because I want to see the votes. Make sure you jump in there and vote. Oh boy, ain't no 2 votes, Miss Dom Queen Polly Kizzy Brown. Ain't no 2 votes. You only get 1 more vote. You cheating. And remember, y'all, we're eventually going to post in the comment section the link for a few of y'all as we had time to come on and be able to chop it up with us. But this next thing we got to talk about ain't as light as that national news about these indictments for these Republicans, these privileged folks, or as Shaka said, the white people. Amen. But we're going to be talking about something I'm tired of talking about, and it's Baltimore violence. Last night, a teen was accidentally shot outside of the Towson Mall, and it led to some other stuff, right? The continuation of the conversation of teens and violence, teens as victims or as perpetrators of gun violence. Y'all, it's a lot. Are we able to play the sound bite of the mayor today? The mayor had some pretty strong comments, and we want to have our conversation around what the mayor had to say today.
Let's see. Yep. Give me a second, Marv.
All right. While he's loading that up, y'all, make sure y'all get y'all votes. So far, I see the chicken box. Now, Kizzy, you can't vote twice. You got the chicken box and the crab cake. Y'all get in here and vote. I can see at least 11 people on the broadcast right now. Y'all get in here and vote, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Facebook. We want you to make sure that you drop your vote. So, Kizzy, you gotta go back and vote again and just give us 1 vote. But right now, Bianca Mayfield is with us.
Make sure we have the audio.
All right, sounds good. Bianca Mayfield is with us, and she going with the chicken box. Dr. Rodell Hall, my friend and my brother, he dropped his vote for the crab cake. My mother dropped the vote. Ma, how you gonna vote twice and you hear me saying Kizzy can't vote twice? Come on, Ma, pick one. We got the crab cake, the chicken box so far. Looks like it's gonna be a duke out between the crab cake and the chicken box. I don't know. I like me a good corned beef sandwich. I don't know about y'all. Right.
Marv, I told you, it's 2, man. It's for me. It's only 2 for me.
And I think these are 2: the crab cake and the chicken box, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that the 2?
Yep.
No,
well,
man.
Like
crab cake everywhere.
I know people who do the snow custard. I know a lot of people, but that ain't gonna be my
the thing is, I go other places, and I've gone other places, seen snowball stands, and asked for egg custard. They looked at me like I was crazy.
Right.
A lot of
What is
places don't even have snowballs.
They have Italian ice. They do
Mhm.
the Italian ice. Mhm.
Crab cakes are everywhere, but there's none like Baltimore crab cakes. All right, so I guess Kizzy settled in on the crab cake, y'all. So it looked like it's a dead heat between the crab cake and the chicken box. Hopefully, my mother gonna go back and
So
follow
so
the
so will
rules.
our votes tip it over, or what we doing?
Huh?
Will our votes tip it over, or
Well, we gonna see if we got it right. I made a pick.
okay?
I want to see if we gonna line up with the audience. But I want y'all to check this clip out that was on Fox 45 today. We giving them credit for it. We don't own the rights to anything to do with this media we showing, but we're gonna let it run tonight so y'all can hear. And we're gonna have a conversation about this.
Keeps your morning moving with Traffic Network.
Taking a look at your Lynn Stoller Traffic Network report.
With a live look at traffic, showing you what to expect before you even leave home. Fox 45
They gonna
Morning
get their
News
money,
Traffic
huh?
Network. Brought to you by Lynn Stoller Automotive.
Now, Fox 45 News has been pressing Mayor Scott about what's being done to stop juvenile crime for months. Tonight, he's calling for change. Fox 45's Jeff Abel joins us live with the mayor's response. Jeff?
You know, the mayor has recently been calling for the rebuilding of the entire juvenile justice system, but it is unclear tonight whether that also means the repealing of those new juvenile justice reform laws which prosecutors have deemed as failures.
We can't just throw our hands up in the air like,
On the morning drive, talk radio was driving home the urgency to reform the state's juvenile justice laws.
there should be a state of emergency at this point for auto thefts.
In Annapolis, the reforms passed by the legislature have simply backfired, according to prosecutors.
To be honest, I think it's one of the worst pieces of legislation I've ever read.
They know that, nothing's really going to happen to them.
On Monday, Mayor Brandon Scott complained that the system simply can't be repaired.
The system needs to be built from its entirety.
As juvenile crime races out of control, rebuilding the juvenile justice system has lately become a common theme at City Hall. In a news release issued today, the mayor wrote, "It's clear that we need to build a different juvenile justice system from the ground up that actually supports our young people with the resources they need, but also actually holds them accountable when it's required." But exactly what does that look like? This afternoon, we asked the mayor's office, does the mayor support scrapping or amending the recent Juvenile Justice Reform Act and the Child Interrogation Act? Will the mayor call on lawmakers to return to Annapolis for a special session on juvenile justice reform? And is there a reason the mayor has recently called for rebuilding the system from the ground up? So far, no reply.
This cannot just be a campaign promise. We need to see specifics. We need to see goals.
Eurypsy Morgan, who leads a government accountability watchdog organization, says taxpayers deserve specifics from the mayor, even if it means disrupting political relationships.
We need juvenile justice reform, and he shouldn't be afraid to speak out, against these bad laws. He shouldn't be afraid to call them by name, and he shouldn't be afraid to talk to specific legislators.
All right, Shaka. So listen, if I'm not mistaken, what I'm hearing, and y'all can help me out with this, is that the idea that the system is so easy on juveniles, and with these new laws that were put in place, I believe the sponsor of the laws is somebody who I love and a friend of this show. But friendship don't mean I agree with everything a person does. Miss Jill Carter put together these juvenile justice laws that are literally being dubbed as the worst pieces of legislation by local prosecutor Ivan Bates. Man, listen, and again, we thank Fox Baltimore for the fair use of that clip. We don't own the rights to it. But y'all talk to me, man, because we talking about juvenile justice reform, right? And we've seen an uptick this year, which is nationwide. In all fairness, it's not just Baltimore. But we've seen an uptick in juvenile violence. And I want y'all to get in the comments and have the conversation with us as well. Y'all talk to me. What is it? Do you believe that the laws that were passed and pretty much what the laws did is it took accountability off the table according to age? We can get those direct laws, but I really want you to comment on what it means to see our government officials coming out and saying, man, we need to rebuild the system from the ground up.
That's a big deal for me. I think that's needed. Yeah.
But what that mean? Again, I like the words.
Yeah.
Right? Again, was it that mean? Because I'm definitely with accountability, but I'm also with opportunity. So that sounded dope. But what does that really look like in 2024 Baltimore? What does that really look like?
Well, Shaka, let me ask you this, right? Because Fox posed one of the questions that Fox posed in their 3 questions that they sent to the mayor's office that are still waiting a response. If in fact he was calling for a reform of those laws that were passed and accusing the mayor of not being forthwith. But if I'm saying tear it down and rebuild it from the ground up, ain't I'm saying that law is horrible too? Is it me?
No, he's saying let's revisit all of it. He's saying to change it.
But what they try to do is they try to date, but they so because this is the part that gets me, and I'm not an anti-Fox guy, but they so hell bent on pushing a narrative that to me they made themselves look like they have an agenda because the man said rebuild it from the ground up. Why wouldn't that include bad legislation that everybody think is bad? Because he didn't particularly call out a name. Like
because that's what they Marv. That's number one. They do want that. They do want him to say XY bill or Senator, Carter. They want him to say that. They 1,000,000% want that. But
so let me ask you this: if that's what they want, what's behind it?
But controversy.
But listen,
they want controversy.
But that's standard, right? That's standard. They do that all across national media. Also, they want that moment. They all want the moment. It's media. You know, when media interview, when I'm getting interviewed, they want me to say certain things. They want me to say someone's name versus instead of a situation that we all know I'm talking about. Yo, they want me to say yo's name. But the other thing is, the flip side of it is, Brandon know he could have said that, but he chose to go the other way also. So
but do you think, let me ask you this, do you think it's lacking? Do you think it's lacking anything? Because I don't want to stay with this too long. We want to actually talk about the juvenile side of it, but do you think it's lacking teeth because he said tear it down and rebuild it from the ground up?
No, I don't. I don't think that, but also there's a part of me that was like, okay, bro, say it.
I think it's vague. I think it's vague.
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, I hear you, Marv, but they're both doing it. They're both playing the game.
What purpose does it serve to identify who did what? If it's jacked up and we're going to rebuild it from the ground up,
that's my take on
it from the ground up. It doesn't matter who put the legislation in place. It may have been a good idea at the moment. We look down the line, it's not working. Then we change it. It's time to pivot.
Agree, but the way to make sure that we're not going into this with politics or business as usual, like
it's
we always do.
We can't avoid it is politics.
I know, but hear me out. Again, in this day and age, I know me personally. Again, I don't think that's necessary to say it, right? But you know what? Nah, bro. I'm tired of y'all fronting. If you really standing on that, yo, you know what? We all saying this one thing. Can you say it, yo?
Yo, what's the drama?
Man, listen, listen.
I'm just telling you, the population, there's people like that, and I'm like that.
I feel you, but on this particular topic, I don't think it can be said no better than tear it all the way down and rebuild it brick by brick. Because the truth is, I don't believe that the problems we having is because of some legislation that just went into play in July. The problems that we're having is because how the juvenile justice system has been handled up until now, even incarcerating kids in situations where they become worse, not reformed and not better, even the school to prison pipeline, where many of our young people are on their way to these jails and on their way to these situations because we got a raggedy school system. I say throw it all in there, tear it down and rebuild it.
I'm good with that, bro. I'm 1,000,000,000% good with it. I'm just saying the way I am now, I'm a little jaded. I'm a little like, yeah, whatever, bro.
But that's the thing. You got an interesting perspective because you worked in a program that dealt directly with young people.
So I want to hear certain things now. I know about putting Band-Aids on shotgun wounds. Yeah. Bro, I'm not here for that. I'm really not here for that. You think
tear it all down is a Band-Aid?
No, that's not a Band-Aid.
But it could just be talk, bro.
He wants somebody to take accountability. He wants somebody to take accountability. But
see, the thing is, when we miss the thin line, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't need
Shaka wants somebody to take accountability, but it's a systematic issue. It's not just one thing. It's really not just the piece of legislation that was bad.
It's a thin line between. It's a thin line between. And when you talk about the media, It's a thin line between accountability and calling folks out.
No,
and I think what
agree.
Fox was aiming for is a direct call out, or for him to put himself in direct opposition
Agreed.
to the party at large.
Agreed.
Yep.
I agree.
Or what about them just wanting him to give specifics so that they can see something that was obtainable, like naming something specifically?
they want
No, let me ask Chelsea the Thekeptwoman. Let me ask you a question. When the last time you seen a Baltimore politician with specifics in the media about a issue that we have? Really, I just think, and I think that sometimes, although I believe Fox does some great reporting, I'm not one of those people that's anti-Fox. If a black leader need to be called on the carpet, do it, right?
Right.
But sometimes the agenda of Fox comes so forward that it overshadows the issue. Like we've been talking for 5 minutes pretty much about the reporting and about whether Brandon said the right thing and not really getting too much into the issue.
Right.
Well, Brandon didn't get too much into the besides the whole umbrella of tear it all down.
Right.
It ain't nothing you can say. The junk is broke. It's broke. Like what is it to say? You can't argue any defenses.
Man, listen, bring back Jack Young.
You just said, when have the last time you seen about politics?
Listen,
specific. That's my problem, B. That's what I'm saying. Say something. Don't just talk, say something.
I'm not asking y'all to vote Jack Young back in, but somebody in the media go find Jack Young and ask him. Tell him go down to Civic Center and box it out and put them guns down. I ain't out here killing these people. It wasn't me. I ain't got no gun. No. Right? Because that's what y'all want. The man can't simply say the entirety of the system is broken. Yeah. We need to tear it down and rebuild it. Y'all need my man to come back with, take him down to Civic Center, let him get in the ring.
I ain't saying that, brother. I'm just saying that I'm at a place where, like
you want the details.
I feel you though, Shaq.
But again, let me say this. This is why Trump got all he got in 2016. I'm not ridiculous and I'm not delusional and you can't brainwash me, right? But I do bro. Talk to me, yo. Stop. I can see the politics.
So let me ask you this.
I can see it from
because
you.
One of
I
our
can see
guests,
it from Fox. I can see the politics, yo. Stop politicking me, B.
One of our guests, and Jason, we definitely put that link in there and get Jason to log in here. Put that link in the comment shot. But one of our guests, Miss Martha Hamlin, thank you for being with the Chop Shop tonight. She said we need action, not just talk.
Yeah.
When we look at things like trying to impose and enforce a curfew, the fact that we do see less squeegee workers, would we hold this administration to saying it's been all talk and no action? GVRS bringing record drops in gun violence in the communities. Would we say, because that's the charge that I hear a lot of people giving him. Hey, Jason, we about to drop this link in the comments. If you somewhere looking pretty, we need you to jump in this conversation, brother. Talk to me.
No, I feel like we putting, like you said, band-aids on gun wounds. Like,
so driving down 83 and not getting swarmed by a bunch of squeegee workers ain't action?
No, I ain't never had no problem with squeegee boys, but that's
I ain't saying what your personal issue was.
I'm just saying
I can't speak what appears to be results.
I can't. I'm saying that did it change the gun violence in Baltimore?
No, we're not talking about squeegee to gun violence. We're talking about the places and the points of action. Squeegee was a priority. We don't see squeegee workers. We don't hear as much about it in the news. We see what else? What else was I talking about? GVRS has been deployed and brought record drops in some of the worst districts in Baltimore. Because I think sometimes we get caught in the narrative, the narrative perspective of what's happening and not really being balanced and looking at some of the good things as well as the bad things. But we don't like what he said, so that's all we're talking about. And I'm going off of, again, Miss Martha Hamlin, thank you for tuning in via YouTube. We need action, not just talk. Would we say that this administration has lacked action with some of the things that we've seen?
No, they've done a few things.
They did a few.
They've done a few things. Again, Mark, I'm not saying that. I was just saying to you, I can understand. I understand. You know what I mean? I get that question. Well, I get the people want some specifics sometimes. So I'm not saying I'm against or for anything. I'm just saying.
So let me ask you this: with the
dig
contentious race relationship that he's had over the years with Fox, right? Mackenzie Frost, it's well documented. Just go on YouTube.
Listen,
do you expect him to go into any type of detail when Fox has the ability to go back to the chopping room, cut that footage up, and make it say what they wanted to say? And listen, if you see, hold on one second, Shaka. Hold on, Shaka. If you see the link in the comments on Facebook, you got to be on the Marvin McKenstry Jr. page or the Chop Shop page. If you see the link in the comments and you want to join the show, copy and paste that link into your browser and come on in. We're going to get you in the back room, get you on so we can talk with you. It's also in YouTube. Shaq, go ahead, talk to me.
No, like I said, I'm just stating that again, because there's some things, like I'm a biker, so there's some things that has happened specifically for my community. And I'm like, okay, I see you. So I'm not tripping. Like I see some things happening. I'm just saying that I'm at a point where let's stop talking about it. And again, I get that Fox hasn't been a fair party and hasn't been, and he's so. Again, I know media, so you're not going to give the same media the same type of love you would give other media. You might not even give them the same answers. I dig that. I'm not tripping. I'm just saying I understand why people want more because I want more. I want directness. I want action, and I don't want politicking anymore.
Do we look to a soundbite on Fox for that?
No.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
we don't look at any soundbite, bro.
Look in the comments on the Chop Shop page.
Somebody sit down and interview him. He give a press conference. I want something longer than a soundbite from anybody.
Is it the same link we use?
Yeah.
Yes. That's because Jason's on Facebook. He's on your Facebook page. He needs to be on the Chop Shop page.
I see him. I'm gonna drop the link.
Right, because I can't post from my from here to your personal page.
I got
you. Okay. So if you on the Chop Shop page, you can grab the link, y'all.
Yes.
That's not bad. Or on the YouTube channel, the Chop Shop YouTube channel, you can grab it on there.
I put it in the comments.
But Marv, like I said, I'm with you, Marv. Like me and you are more politically aligned than we think. I mean, like we.
So what you trying to say? What you trying?
Because I know how you and your Second Amendment go. So you know what I mean.
Listen, I'm not a Republican, but I'm unapologetically conservative. Don't mess with my money or my guns. Anything else, I'm with.
Listen, I'm liberal until you come to my front door. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Do you? Just don't make me do you.
We got my man, community activist, social justice warrior, brain, brilliance, all of that, and beauty. My main man, DJ J Rod, my man Jason Rodriguez. Jason, what's up with you, man? We having this conversation around juvenile violence and the action, the things that's being talked about and the actions that's being taken. What's up with you, Jay? We don't got no audio for you, bro. While Jason is getting his audio together, if you want to be a part of the show, grab a hold of that link that Lisha Gibson just posted. That's Miss Hot Take herself, Lady Lisha, and grab it, copy it into your URL, and come on in. Shop gonna get you up and on the show. We're gonna be able to talk to you. Jay, we still don't have no audio for you, bro.
It's go in your settings, Jay. Jay, go in your settings and click audio and make sure that your outgoing speaker. Make sure your mic is whatever mic that you want it to be.
So let me ask this question while we getting there, right? We got Chelsea, Thekeptwoman, and Miss Hot Take herself, Lady Lisha, who are both Black women who are mothers. When you see the amount of juvenile violence, right? And I know for the most part, our children are grown, right? But when we see the amount of juvenile violence that's taking place, I want to hear not from you, the social justice warrior, the activist. I want to hear from you, the mother, when you see that level of violence happening amongst our babies.
It grieves me. It grieves my heart. It grieves my heart because they're hurting. The kids are hurting. For whatever reason, we have to get to the root of it, especially when I go to the prison and see they're getting younger and younger. When I go to the women's prison, there are a lot of young girls there that probably should be in the juvenile system, but they over in the adult system, but they're not being rehabilitated in either way. So it grieves my heart because they're hurting. They're hurting and they're looking for some direction.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm grieved as well. But what hits me when I think about it is, what are they missing? Like, what did we have that they didn't have, right? And I know our generation had our fair share of juvenile crime. Like, in our generation, we had our fair share. It wasn't as deep as now, but it's a sense of community that this generation just ain't getting.
No.
Well, Lady Lisha, I think you said that backwards. You said, what did we have that they don't have? I think it's more a matter of what they had that we didn't have. I was talking to somebody yesterday at our back to school event, and my reality to why you're seeing so much specific gun violence concerning our young people is because back in my day, we knew what few people had guns, what few people would use them, because everybody that had one wasn't going to bust them. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? Now, everybody got a gun.
Right.
When you hearing about 13, 14-year-olds, you got this kid who was 14 when he committed when he shot the guy who was wielding the bats, and I'm gonna always say that detail when I talk about it down there in the squeegee situation, got convicted of manslaughter. He was 14 years old when the incident happened, turned 15 the next day, 16 when he was on trial. 14-year-old. Let me ask y'all this. When we see the mothers of the 17-year-old who got shot by the police officer, we see the mother of the 12-year-old, grandmother of the 12-year-old to get killed out in Brooklyn. And they seen the mother of the 17-year-old say, he live in Baltimore. He need a gun to protect himself. Talk to us, J. Rod.
Well, you had the 12-year-old actually was on the box. We got to ask the question, what's going on? Because a lot of the crimes that have been happening recently, whether those who have been on the box under juvenile services have actually been victims of crime or actually have gone out and perpetuated more crime while waiting on trial. We got to ask what's going on with our public safety system. But I've been soliciting Fox 45 for the longest. I've called Mackenzie Frost. I've called the editor. Just to really have a conversation around this whole Child Interrogation Act. I think they don't understand why it's needed. I've worked with the Public Defender's Office before. We used to teach flex your right classes using the Billy Murphy 10 steps to police engagement method. And at the time, Ms. Helen from the juvenile service of the Public Defender's Office used to tell us, these children would say things that sometimes would implicate them, even to the crucifixion of Christ, they would admit to.
So Jay, talk to them about your perspective on the Child Interrogation Act and the conversation that you're trying to have with Fox, so people know which side of the issue you're on.
Well, they keep talking about, how these DAs and, state's attorneys and law enforcement officers and police chief are saying that it's hindering their investigation. But I'm saying that it's well overdue and well needed. And a lot of this was argued already when the bill was already presented to the public about how children, unfortunately, were implicating themselves many times, really and truly. They weren't involved in any crime at all, but because they knew something or they're at the scene. If you have a child that says, hey, little Ray Ray down the street did it. I saw it. I was there. And then they go back to little Ray Ray, and little Ray Ray says, I didn't do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
But let me ask
now
you
you
this,
just
Jay.
implicated yourself and you put yourself on the scene and you could be charged with a crime now.
Let me ask you this, Jay, because the truth is we know anybody that's familiar with criminal justice or the criminal justice system, that being able to question people and being able to do it in a timely manner is a huge part of what helps us get timely resolution of crimes. People who are against child interrogation, right, or against juvenile interrogation, what is the alternative? Because I hear a lot of the arguments against it because of the developmental issues. The same thing, developmental issues, the same thing that was behind the conversation specifically that pushed the legislation through that now everybody is saying is horrible, right? What is the alternative?
There is no alternative. We can't allow our children, first of all, we're talking about a city where, we have the stop snitching mentality. And it's not snitches get stitches. Snitches get murked in this city. Snitches get killed in this city. So to put a child in an interrogation room, interrogate them for hours without any legal counsel, at the end of the day, again, these children were admitting it in the past to things that technically, if they had counsel or had a lawyer would have said, you know what? You need to pump your brakes for a second. This is how we're going to present it.
So the
This way it doesn't
alternative is
implicate
that
you.
they have representation. Because you
They
said
have
no
to.
alternative. I don't believe you have an argument or leg to stand on trying to get that reform without having some alternative measure. So the alternative is that there be representation. And I want to get back to some of my co-hosts in case they got some feedback. Shaq look like he want to talk back to you.
No, I was just waiting for the representation part because I a billion percent feel like children can be spoken to. I feel like children can be asked questions because guess what? If that little kid gets touched, you're gonna ask him a question, right?
Right.
We'll ask him a question. So let's keep the same energy, right? That's so I agree with the brother. Like nah, you shouldn't be talking to no kid without somebody emotionally more mature, you know, and to be in that space. No, I'm with him a billion percent because I don't care.
So should we be talking to any suspect?
Say again.
Should we be talking to any suspect person of interest?
You're giving your Miranda when you get arrested.
So we're assuming everybody understands Miranda.
Yeah.
No, a child wouldn't necessarily understand.
Right, but a child ain't the only. A child is not the only person that don't understand Miranda.
That's right.
So
Some
if you
adults
gonna change it, change it across the board. Give people representation. But y'all know, y'all seen the first 48. Y'all, we gotta get ready to wrap this show up. This been a good one tonight.
Already?
But, yeah, time flies when you're having fun. Listen, we've seen the first 48 and know how valuable those first few minutes and hours are to police.
Right.
We know how it is. So
but there's
we
still
on
a
the
balance
side
to the community.
Still got to balance.
And when you have a child in that interrogation room, when they're being interrogated, they get scared and they'll say things
I'm
that
not
sometimes.
disagreeing with y'all. This is what my question is. When I'm on the side of the table that is a victim, and I know that initial engagement can get some justice for my family, when you taking that off the table and possibly hindering the investigation process that's going to get me some justice, where does that fall on the side of victims' rights?
And you bring in a social worker, you bring in somebody, but don't put my child in the room with a bunch of grown men interrogating him and scaring him.
That's right.
It's been proven already time and time again.
I'm not disputing it.
They get our kids to say anything just to go home.
When you want change, you have to bring the alternative to the table. So you said social workers, right?
Something.
But let's keep it a stack here. We have
I like the law as it stands. You know,
the lawyer, right, or the representative, but most cases that's going to be an attorney. How cooperative or how encouraging to cooperation are they going to be to that person? I don't want to act like I'm the person on here that's not interrogating children. I just think the reason that they're going hard and aggressive in that manner is because they're losing valuable investigative time by not being able to do it.
Yo, listen, if we go revamp the system, right? Good brother.
Ground up.
Listen, if we go revamp the system, then guess what? Give me a whole damn department. Give me a whole cadre of lawyers that this what y'all do, yo. What y'all do is y'all make sure these kids good legally, right? I mean, everybody got to do their job, but you make sure these kids are protected legally from any type of, you know what I mean? Because
do we go towards the model?
Spend the money.
Do we go towards the model of the Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights, where you get time, you get representation, all those kinds of things? I mean, we're talking about leveling the playing field because the truth is, I would love to have a statistic
I'm okay
on
with
how many
all that
cases
being
have
on the
been
table to be discussed.
right, because I want to know how many cases have been thrown out because of interrogation and all of that sort of thing being a problem.
Listen, Bob. Again, I'm not saying baby bathwater. I'm saying that everyone has to come to the table with the understanding that we can't be creating more victims because of these victims.
Right.
We can't do that.
Right.
And I can share some stories with you if you do a whole nother show on this. I can share some stories of Miss Helen, that shared with us that she just told us to tell our children to just shut the heck up and don't say nothing until a guardian or adult comes around.
Well,
because they're being charged wrongfully.
This is what we're going to do, J-Rod. We're going to bring you back on as our special guest team member because I don't think we're going back to the interview format where we're doing the interview Q&A because I like this a lot better. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight, my brother.
Hey, we need the answers, Marv.
Yeah. I think Chelsea was keeping track. Chelsea, the Thekeptwoman, what's the answer? What is So Baltimore? Is it the snowball, egg cuts the snowball with marshmallows? And matter of fact, if you wasn't on when we ran it, get the ticker back up, shot. Get the ticker back up. We voting on chicken boxes, crab cakes, cheesesteak egg rolls, corned beef sandwich, egg custard snowball with marshmallows, or yak gal main, also known as yakami. Which one is so Baltimore? Get your vote in real quick. We're going to give you about another 30 seconds to vote, and then we're going to determine what the winner is. Looks like to me the front runner right now is the crab cake.
It is. I was going to say it
What?
looks like crab cake. But wait,
That's
Ella
good.
Johnson voted again for the second. Ella Johnson did both the crab cake and the chicken box again.
Man, you can't vote. That's my mother. Man, you can't vote twice.
Mine's is chicken pox, salt, pepper, and ketchup. A little bit of hot
Yeah,
sauce.
man.
All right,
I'm with
Jay
you,
going with the
With a half and
chicken box.
half.
Hey, Jay, listen, man.
Y'all so basic.
But Jay, because you came on the show, Joe, because
we too
Jay,
crabby.
Jay, because you came on the show, your vote don't count over there. Come on, Bishop Kelly Hardy, my brother, Elder D, put your vote in there. What you got? The crab cake, the
I was going
corned
to say
beef, the
crab
chicken
cake's
box?
got it so far.
Yeah, crab cake looks like it's
so
out
far.
front. I'm
Oh,
surprised.
y'all eat snowballs, huh? Y'all
I'm
eat snowballs.
surprised. My
Nah,
vote
you can only
was
do that part of the
my
year.
vote
sis.
was the chicken box. I thought the chicken box was gonna be so Baltimore. It's because we got a bunch of bougie folks on here.
Wow.
Then you got to do who has the best crab cake.
What was your vote, Shaq? What was
Yeah,
your vote?
that's true, Jay. We gotta do who got the best crab cake.
I was chicken box.
So I went with the chicken box too. What was your vote, Lady Lisha?
Snowballs.
Snowball.
Oh,
That's seasonal. No, that's
3 months out the
seasonal.
year.
Yeah, you missed because that's seasonal. Chelsea, the Thekeptwoman, what was your vote?
I had did snowball as well as crab cake, but it would be crab cake.
Come on, Chelsea, the Thekeptwoman, you worse than my mama.
Wow.
She won't follow the rules.
Wow.
J-Rod, what you pick, J-Rod? The chicken box, salt, pepper, ketchup?
And got to have a half and half. Got to have a half and half.
It seemed
Light
like
ice.
it seemed like
More
all of us
lemonade
that
than
are
tea.
on the screen was on the side of the crab cake, but the chicken box. But it looked like the winner tonight is the crab cake because the crab cake votes are still pulling in. Carol, when we going to Coco's and get a crab cake is what I want to know. Deja Tapley, what's your favorite crab cake spot? Listen, y'all, tonight's show was amazing, and I gotta thank everybody. I gotta thank my right hand and my left hand, my main man, Mr. Shaka Pitts. I gotta thank Miss Hot Take, Lady Lisha. I gotta thank Chelsea the Thekeptwoman and our special guest co-team member tonight, DJ J-Rob, my man Jason Rodriguez. And just like I thank them, I gotta thank y'all, our listening audience and viewing audience tonight. I see Elder D on here. She's still talking about crab cakes. Carol Wilson, Deja Tapley, Bishop Telly Hardy. J-Rod, you with us now. Cheo Thomas, Pastor Rara, Pastor Cheo. Kenzie, listen, y'all, keep checking in with us. We're going to keep these hot conversations coming to you. Join us next week. Whatever's hot in the news is what we're going to be talking about. And you never know what special guest team member. We might get J-Rod to come back on with us to ride out for the whole show next week if he got the time and he's available. I thank y'all so much for being with us tonight, y'all. Listen, as I always say in closing, trust God. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean out to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Be the change that you want to see. Don't complain about what's wrong. Don't run from it. Don't be the next one in the way of black flight leaving Baltimore, but be the very change that's needed in your community. Make the difference because the difference is definitely needed. And above and beyond everything else, always remember that we can be more. Thank you for joining us.
I can be more. There's nothing that I can't achieve if I just believe. You can be more. You can make every dream a reality. We can be more. Be more, be more.
Yeah.
I can be more.
I wake up every day and try to be more. I pray I be more. It's easy to achieve anything you believe. Like hold your head high. Girl, you got a reason to breathe. I see a rare mind. Boy, you got a reason to dream. Let's take flight. Give the children a reason to see redemption. We grow up in the jacks where it's evil and wicked. Where the people with success don't want to send you a visit. But we still finna make this life worth living. Now throw your hands to the sky if you feel it. Hey, throw your hands to the sky if you the realest. You got a vision. Let's put them pistols away and make sure the OGs keep the community safe. In the world where the ladies crying, the babies dying, I think we can create that space to make a way for the ladies to ride and make baby giants. Be more, believe, let's play. I'm so in love with life.
There's nothing that
Little.
I can't